Hey everybody, and welcome back to our 32-man Magical Athlete Tournament. We are getting down to the nitty-gritty now, at least of the first round. We only have 2 races left, 8 races left to race. We're going to have 2 more races of 4, that is. So let's get started with the Genius. So the Genius, if you're not familiar with his power, he can predict what he's going to roll, and if he's correct, he can take another turn. I have seen this guy fly across the track, so he could really be a wild card. The Dice Monger, which I think could work really well for the Genius, where anyone can re-roll their main move once per turn, and if they do, he moves 1. So that could really work in the Genius's advantage, because he'll have 2 chances to guess the right number. The Mastermind, this one could throw a huge spanner in the works, where at the start of my first turn, I can predict what racer will win. If I'm right, the race ends immediately and he finishes second. Well, this could be some dirty tricks for the Mastermind. And finally, we have the very pleasant Magician, who can roll his main move up to 2 times. So he's got that kind of Yahtzee mechanism where he gets several chances to improve his previous rolls. So let's do the initial lineup. I think this is going to be a very interesting race. And I suppose before I get started, I'm going to have to... in fact, we'll decide that at the start of the Mastermind's first turn. We'll decide who he thinks is going to win the race. So let's get started with the Genius, and I suppose I'm going to have to guess what he rolls. And let's say he's going to start with a 4. And he has rolled a 3. So steady start for the Genius there. Moving on to the Dice Monger, and I should say that everybody does have a chance to re-roll their main move, but the Genius decided not to do that. So the Dice Monger is going to do his basic roll, and he's rolled a 1, so not too interesting there. And he can't even. He actually does do it for himself as well. So anybody can re-roll their main move once per turn. When another racer does it, he moves 1, so he can actually re-roll if he wants to. So he's going to re-roll and try again for a second time. He's rolled a 5, so that was well worth it. So there could be some really fast racers in this race. So it's the Mastermind's turn, and at this stage he's going to have to guess who he thinks is going to win the race. I think he is going to bet on the Magician. I think the Magician is very versatile, and odds are somewhat in his favour. So he's going to bet that the Magician will win the race. So please remember that, guys. So Mastermind has rolled 3. He can re-roll if he wants to, but he doesn't want to. He's happy with that. It's the Magician's turn, who gets 2 re-rolls. He doesn't even have to use the ability of the Dice Monger, so he's going to re-roll the 2 again, and of course he's going to but he's going to thrive on the 6 there. Really strong start for the Magician, which is good news for the Mastermind. So let's go for the Genius then. So the Genius is going to guess that he's going to roll a 5, and he's rolled a 5, so he gets to fly across the track from green to green, and he gets another go. And this time he's going to guess that he's going to roll a 6. He's rolled a 5. He does get a reroll if he uses the Dice Monger's ability, which he's going to. So he's going to do a reroll, which is going to move the Dice Monger along 1. And he's rolled another 5, so not quite good that time. He guessed a 6. So moving on then to the Dice Monger. The Dice Monger's rolled a 5. He's happy with that. He's going to keep it. So along he goes. Mastermind doesn't have to worry about any powers. He's just going to keep doing what he's doing and hope that his initial bet was correct. So he's still doing well. He's got a steady roll there of 4. The Magician, his second roll of the game, he's rolled a 2. He gets 2 re-rolls. He's going to settle on the 6, of course. So he's doing very well here. He's moving at prime speed. 12 moves for 12 placements in only 2 moves, which is obviously fantastic. Back to the Genius then. Because of the ability of the Dice Monger, I think he's just going to keep on guessing high. So why wouldn't he guess a 6? So he's going to roll a 6. He's rolled a 4. And he's going to get that re-roll. And when he re-rolls, the Dice Monger is going to move. Still guessing a 6. He got a 3, so not very good. So I can predict my move from right. So he still gets to move his 3, which is absolutely fine. So moving on to the Dice Monger. The Dice Monger's roll a 3. He gets a re-roll. He doesn't get to move if he does his own re-roll, and he goes 3 spaces. So he's on to the final straight now. The Mastermind, nothing terribly interesting to worry about yet. He rolls a 3. He's going to use the re-roll, so he's going to help the Dice Monger out by using his ability, and it's actually hurt him because he's only moving 2 now. So that was not good news for the Mastermind, especially considering he was betting on the Magician, whose turn it is now. So the Magician is going to go, he's rolled a 1, which is terrible. He's going to get a re-roll. He's rolled a 4, which is not bad. I think because his luck's been so good, he's going to roll again. And he's rolled a 2, so finally slowed down a bit for the Magician. It's the Genius's turn. He is going to guess a 6, why wouldn't he? And he's rolled a 4. He gets a re-roll. He's not going to use the re-roll, I think, because he's going to help the Dice Monger too much. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Dice Monger's turn. He starts off with a 1. He gets to re-roll even for himself, but he doesn't get the boost. He's rolled a 3. So 1, 2, 3 for the Dice Monger. Mastermind's turn. Oh, carnage. We have a 3 for the Mastermind. Where is he? There he is. Right at the back there. He could re-roll, but I think the Dice Monger is too much of a threat. He cannot keep on getting re-rolls and helping the Dice Monger along. Magician needs a good comeback. I think he could get it. He has 2 re-rolls, so the first one is a 2, the second one's a 6. Of course he's going to take the 6. So off he goes from blue to blue, plus 1 more. He is back in the lead on even turns. So quite an interesting layout here. We have the Magician in the lead, followed by the Dice Monger. Then we have the Genius and the Mastermind trailing behind. But we'll go back to the Genius now. He needs to fly. He's going to go for a 5. He rolled a 3. He's going to use the power, which is going to move the Dice Monger along 1, with the hope that he rolls a 5 for this second time. He doesn't, he rolls a 4, but at least he gets moving. He's still in the race, that's for sure. The Dice Monger's turn. He rolled a 6. Fantastic news for the Dice Monger. Straight to pink, he's on the home straight, only needs 4 spaces to finish. The Mastermind's turn. It's not looking good for the Mastermind at all. He's rolled a 5. He's going to keep it, going from orange to orange. Magician, he needs these 6s on the home straight now. Constant 6s he needs. He's got a 3. He's going to re-roll it once. 5. Is he going to take the 5? I think he's going to take it because he can still fight for second place. So he's going to keep the 5 and fly along. Back to the next round then. It's the Genius's turn. Now this is where the Genius could shine. So if he flies, and he could actually win the race. So he's going to guess for a 6. Why not? Let's be the optimist. And he's rolled a 5. I think he's going to keep the 5 because he could still win second place. So, or does he have to pay? I don't know. It's too much of a gamble. I think he's going to re-roll. He's going to re-roll. He's going to re-roll and guess on a 6. He's going to push him along. Yeah, he's going to re-roll. And he's going to guess a 6. And he's rolled a 3, so it's not good news. Dice Monger, it looks like he's going to finish this turn. He doesn't even need the re-roll. He's rolled a 4. He is home and dry. First place goes to the Dice Monger, which is terrible news for the Mastermind. He's going to need a miracle to qualify. But we've seen stranger things happen. So he's rolled a 5. He's going to keep the 5. He cannot afford to give any more movement. Or, in fact, the Dice Monger's finished, but that's fine. We have the Magician, which is looking good for him to finish this round. He's rolled a 6. that's absolutely fine. He is home and dry as well. So our qualifying races are the Dice Monger, followed by the Magician, and the Poor Old Genius, and the Mastermind. Despite their names, have fallen at the first hurdle and have been eliminated. So let's move on to our final race. So join me for the next video, guys.